And welcome hardworking aspirants. Today we are going to study about Mahajanapadas, and before this we completed early Vedic period and later Vedic period. And it's very important for you to watch those classes because there are a few terms which are really important and you can only understand if you have done those classes. Those videos are already available in the playlist on our YouTube channel Shikara Academy. Okay, so you can go and watch them in our complete Ancient India series. And guys, we'll be seeing today about the 16 Mahajanapadas and how the economy is going to take a turn. We'll seeing the name, the capitals, the modern location of these Mahajanapadas, also seeing it in the map and the other things. But before we get started guys, a quick notification to all of you for the mentorship program for UPSC, TSPSC and APPSC. This is the opportunity for you to get this one-on-one live mentorship by Deepika ma'am, who is having 20 plus years of experience. She is even our mentor. So you can really trust it and you can call on the numbers given below for more inquiry. We are also running the batches for TSPSC Group 1, Group 2 and also the batches for UPSC CSE 2026-27. And right now we are also having discount, huge discount, you can say 50%. Okay, and you can call on the numbers given below to inquire. And let's get started with Mahajanapadas. So as you can see guys, first thing first, let's see the northernmost and the southernmost along with the eastern and the westernmost Mahajanapadas what were there. So the northernmost Mahajanapada that you can see is here, that's Kuru. Okay, and the southernmost is Asmaka. Okay, somewhere there in Maharashtra and Telangana today. And if you'll see the easternmost is here, that is Anga, just beside Magadha you can see. And the westernmost, there are two which have the competition. So you have to see, one is Cambodia and the other is Gandhara. Okay, so this is what you can say the extremes, the east, west, north and south, and other, as you can see, the Avanti, the Malla, the Vrij, the Vatsa, Kasi, Magadha, Chedi. Okay, all of these Panchala, all are there in middle. Now, what is this origin of Mahajanapada? So, if you remember, first and foremost, let's talk about from where are we getting this. Okay, so there are two books. One is a Buddhist book and the name is Anguttara Nikaya. Okay, it talks about the 16 Mahajanapadas. Okay, and then there is a Jain text also, that is the Bhagavati Sutra. The Bhagavati Sutra. And this guys, this also talks about this Mahajanapadas, the 16 Mahajanapadas, but we tend to take whatever is written in the Buddhist text, that is the Anguttara Nikaya. Okay, and this Mahajanapadas somewhere or the other, they will emerge around 6th century BC. Okay. And from the Janapadas, if you remember, the smallest unit of a family was called Kul in the later Vedic or the early Vedic period. From the Kul we got the Gram. Okay, the head of the Kul was the Kulpati or the Kulapa. The Gram's head was known as the Gramini. Then from the Gram you have Vishu. The head of the Vishu is a Vishapati. Okay, and from Vishu what you are getting? You are getting Jana. You are getting Jana or Jan. Jana or Jan. Who was the head of Jana or Jan? It was a Rajan. If you remember, a Rajan. Who was a Rajan? A Rajan had two duties. One, to protect its people, and secondly, Rajan was also known as Gopati. What does it mean? Gopati means the protector of the cows. So, the Rajan had two duties, to protect his own people and also to protect the cattle or the cow. Okay. So, this Jana, you can already see this Jana is there. So this Jana or the Janapada, Jana or the Janpada. Jana basically means people, Pada, the place where they are living at. So it basically means the people who are living at which place. So what will be the Mahajanapadas? So when this Janpada will grow in size, will grow in sphere, will grow in economy, will grow in military sense also. Yes, now they will start to keep military. In the Vedic period, we saw that they were not keeping the military, but now they will start. So now it will convert into being a Mahajanapada. Okay, now it will be a Mahajanapada. So this transition, whatever are the transitions, we'll see. The most important reason for this transition, please always remember, was the iron tools and the discovery of the iron. And because this area, this Gangetic plains, you will see the mining and of the iron ore being done a lot, and these iron tools will help these people living at this area for agriculture purpose and for warfare purpose, which enabled them to clear the forest and expansion of cultivable land. So this is very important. This invention, you can say the discovery of the iron tools, that was very important. As I've already said you, so Buddhist texts like Anguttara Nikaya and the Bhagavati Sutra of the Jain and also the Sanskrit literature, it talks about the 16 Mahajanapadas. What are the sources of Mahajanapadas? There are also, the Greek historians have also written about this. The archaeological excavations also talks about it, and the inscriptions and the architectural remains, those also talk about the 16 Mahajanapadas. Now, what were the causes of the rise of the 16 Mahajanapadas? Let's see one by one. Number one, fertile land and abundant rainfall in the eastern Gangetic plains led to agriculture prosperity. Okay. Number two, the discovery and use of iron tools and weapons, it allowed for better farming and territorial expansion. Again, I am saying you, iron, again and again you will see the use of iron, the discovery of iron is of great importance for this 16 Mahajanapadas. Increasing population and urbanization created a new economic and political center. And lastly, the decline of tribal loyalties and rise of alliances territories, that is the Janpadas, encouraged the formation of larger, more organized state. So now the people are not loyal only towards their tribes, rather they are building of alliances for the territories formation, and that is why you have this Mahajanapadas formation. So let's see one by one. Anga, Magadha, Kasi and Kosala. Anga, the capital is Champa. The region in today, you can say the Bihar or West Bengal, known for trade and commerce. That's Anga. You can also remember Angraj Karna. If you remember the Mahabharata, so Karna was made the king of Anga. By whom? Do you remember? Please answer me if you remember in the comments. Magadha. The capital is Rajgir and the Patliputra, it kept on changing. Region is Bihar. Bimbisara Ajatsatru imperial power that were famous of it. Magadha we will be doing separately in a separate class completely. It's one of the most important, okay, of the Mahajanapadas. It's Magadha. Then the next is Kasi. Obviously today also it's Kasi. In Varanasi the capital was. The region is eastern UP. Fought with Kosala, and Kosala somewhere the other also captured Kasi. Kosala, again the capital Sravasti, region is Bihar, Prasenjit, a rival of Magadha. Magadha and Kosala had a fight. The battle were there. Then let's see the next, that is Vajji. The capital is Vaisali. Region is North Bihar, Ganga Sangh, that is the republic. Again, we'll see one more thing here, that is Gana Sangh. What is this Gana Sangh or what is this republic? When you see the Republic of India, okay, republic in Hindi is written as Ganatantra. Okay, it talks about Ganatantra. So this Gana, it talks about the people. Okay, this Gan is people, and Sangh means the people coming together. So it is talking about the republic, and the Ganatantra, the Tantra is the system. Okay, Gana, people, Tantra is system. So the system which has the people. Okay, so that is what is happening. So it will, some of these Mahajanapadas will have monarchy. There will be hereditary kings, but in some of the places you will have oligarchy, where you will have group of people that will be deciding everything. There will be no hereditary will there. Okay, but then there will be a class system there. We'll see that in detail. So next is Malla, that is the capital is Kushinawara Pawa. Region is Eastern Uttar Pradesh. Ganasanga, again it is Chedi. Capital is Sotivati. Region is Central India. King Sisupala, again if you remember Mahabharata, Sisupala had enmity with Krishna. Vatsa, that is the capital is Kausambi. Region is near Allahabad. Udayan, cultural hub. And the next, Kuru. Kuru, if you remember Kuru, you have to remember Indraprastha, Hastinapur, and you have to remember Kauravas. Yes, Kauravas and Pandavas, and Hastinapur and Indraprastha. If you remember, those were the places. Region is Delhi, Haryana. Oligarchic republic. I already tell you what is oligarchy, where you have a group of people who will decide for you. Okay, they will be selected, they might be elected. Panchala. Panchala, if you remember, you can remember Panchali from Panchala. Okay, Draupadi was known as the Panchali. Capital was Aichhatra and Kampilya region is Western UP, noted for scholarship. Please remember, Matsya capital is Viratnagar, region Rajasthan. King Virata allied with Pandava, so they were the partner of the Pandavas. Next is Surasena, capital is Mathura, region is Western Uttar Pradesh. Avantipura spread Buddhism. Again, this is the place where Krishna comes. Yadu once is from there. Asaka, the capital is Pathan, region is Maharashtra, Telangana. Brahmadat or Aruna here. Next is Avanti, capital is Ujjain. Mahismati, okay, it reminds us of Bahubali. Region is Malwa, MP, and Prayodata dynasty is here. Gandhara, again the capital is Tachila here. Region is northwest Pakistan and Afghanistan. Center for learning. And then we have Cambodia, that is the capital is Rajapura. Region is Afghanistan, Pakistan, known for horses and warriors. Okay, and it is also one of the, if you can see here, Cambodia, the westernmost, and the Gandhara, the Anga that I said you, the easternmost, the Asmaka that I said you is the southernmost, and Kuru and Panchala you can see side by side. This is the northernmost. Okay, so Anga, today it is in Munger, Bhagalpur. Magadha, that is Gaya and Patna today. Kasi today in Banaras. Vatsa is in Allahabad. Kosala is in eastern Uttar Pradesh. Saurasena is in Mathura. Panchala, western Uttar Pradesh. Meerut and southeastern Haryana, that is the Kuru. Then you have Jaipur, that's Matsya. Budelkhand, that is the Chedi. Then Avanti is in Madhya Pradesh and Malwa. Gandhar is in Rawalpindi. Gandhar reminds us of Gandhari, the mother of Duryodhana and the wife of Dhritarashtra, and also the sister of Sakuni. Sakuni was also known as Gandhar Naresh, or the king of Gandhar. Cambodia, again guys, Rajari and Hajra, that's Kashmir, Asmaka, bank of Godavari. Then you have Vajji, Vaisali. By the way, this question came this year from Asmaka, Avanti. Then you will see the Kosala was there. Okay, Malla is in Devariya and Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so these were few of the places. This map is important. Please get along with the map. Now let's see the monarchies and Janasangha. What was the difference? Monarchy, most Mahajanapadas were monarchy where a hereditary king held supreme authority and centralized power. But what about these oligarchic republics? Some Mahajanapadas like Vajji and Malla were Janasangha, oligarchic republics with assemblies of elders or nobles governing collectively. Okay. Monarchy in Mahajanapadas, most Janapadas were monarchy, that we have seen. The king was supported by council of minister and a centralized administration that managed various departments such as finance, defense and justice. So they are also having the council of ministers to look after this all the things. Kingship was hereditary and titles like Raja, Samrat and Swarat were used for rulers. Very important. The king's authority was often legitimized through religious rituals and ceremonies. Again, I'll give you the example of, if you remember the movie Bahubali, there you have seen, unfortunately, Bahubali did not become the king, but you have that ceremony, the ritualistic ceremony where you have priest, where you have functions going on. So that ceremony along with some yajnas like the Rashtriya Yajna or the Ashwamedh Yajna were performed, or the sacrifices were performed. Features of monarchical administration, what were there? The king levied taxes, especially on agriculture. 1/6 of the produce was taxed. This is very important. Please remember, 1/6 of the produce was taxed of the agriculture, and the revenue were also collected from the craftsmen, traders and herders. Okay. Regular armies were maintained for defense and expansion purpose. Capitals were fortified for protection against rival states. The administration was hierarchical with the king at the center, supported by ministry official overseeing different aspects of governance. Right now, like we have the president, we have the prime minister, and then you see the prime minister having cabinet of ministers. So like that it was at that time also. But today we don't have monarchy. Don't compare that. Major monarchies include Magadha, Kosala, Kasi, Vatsa, Avanti and Surasena. And these states often engage in military conflicts to expand their territories. Obviously, if a state will get more and more powerful, what it will want? It will want to expand itself. And when it will want to expand itself, it will have tussle with other Mahajanapadas. Okay. The Republican and oligarchic Mahajanapadas, while most Mahajanapadas were monarchic, this we have seen already, Gana or Sanghas. In this state, power was not vested in a single hereditary monarch, but rather in assembly or council. Yes, we have seen that. This is a sort of a picturization that we have tried to make with artificial intelligence or the AI, what is very famous nowadays. And this you can see a king enjoying what is happening. There is some function sort of going on in his kingship, or you can say in his Mahajanpada, and there he is enjoying that. So let's see the features of Republican, oligarchic and Mahajanpadas, what were there. The first, collective leadership. The Republican Mahajanpadas were governed by assemblies, that is Sabha or Samiti, where decisions were made by collectively by representatives of the ruling families or the clans. That's the collective leadership. Oligarchic nature, what it is there. Although termed republics, these systems were oligarchic in practice. Power was concentrated in the hands of a small group of elite families. Okay, obviously this small group will want that their family should only continue. What are the elected leaders? Leaders sometimes called Ganapati, Ganaraja or Sangha Mukhya were either elected or selected from among the elite, and they ruled with the support of the council. So please remember, Ganapati, Ganaraja or Sangha Mukhya were either elected or selected from among the elite, and the ruled with the support of the council. Assemblies and council. Assemblies played a vital role in governance, handling executive, judicial and military matters. These bodies ensured some degree of participation, but among the aristocratic classes were they there. Now, notable Republican oligarchic Mahajanpadas, please remember, these were the Vajji, the Malla, the Sakya, the Lichavi and Kamboja. Two of it, like the birthplace of Gautama Buddha, that's the Sakya, Lichavi again, governed by an assembly of clan chiefs, this we have seen, and Malla, okay, that is Kusinar power, where you have Buddha's Mahaparinirvana, a very important incident that happened in the life of Gautam Buddha. So that important incident happened there. Now, monarchic versus republic in Mahajanpadas. So we will see the ruler. In monarchy you will have the hereditary king, that is the Raja, but in republics what you will see assembly or the council of elites. Decision making will be obviously done by the king. Here the collective or by the assembly it will be done. Social structure hierarchical, rigid, simpler, but still elite dominated it will be there in oligarchy. Now examples, Magadha, Kosala, Avanti. Please remember Vajji, Mala, Sakya and Lichavi here. Political stability, it will be strong and centralized. Sometimes it will be stable because there are group of people. The group of people might have differences in thought process. Inclusivity limited to royal family, and this will be limited to aristocratic clans. There also you are not getting the other varnas to get the opportunity. Agriculture, economy and use of iron. Agriculture was the economic backbone supported by the use of iron. Iron, again I have said you that it is the most important thing that has happened for the Mahajanpadas to build up. Plows and tools were made up of iron, which enabled the clearing of dense forest and expansion of arable land. Rice became a staple crop and animal husbandry was significant. The rise of urban centers and the introduction of coinage fostered trade and a market economy, with cities like Vaisali, Sravasti, Kausambi becoming commercial hubs. Like if supposingly you are in a major city, so you'll see the city, every village or surrounding area, people come for the shopping. At that time, these places were like Vaisali, Sravasti and Kausambi here. Iron was crucial not only for agriculture but also for making stronger weapons, aiding military expansion and state building. Again, iron was most important for the agriculture produce. Iron was most important for clearing up the lands, the forest and all. Iron was most important also for creating the stronger weapons and military expansion. So iron, again I'll say this is very important. Impact of agriculture and iron use on military strength of Mahajanpadas. We have already seen all these points. It was used for deeper tillage, clearing dense forest and expanding cultivable land. This led to increased agriculture productivity and surplus, which enabled the support and maintenance of large standing armies. So when you have surplus, then only you can think of keeping an army. Surplus produce increased state revenues through taxation, providing resources to equip and sustain military forces. Prosperity from agriculture and trade allowed rulers to invest in military infrastructure. This year, guys, we have already seen. If you have not gone through our art and culture classes, please go through there in a chapter of I guess history of coins. These are the punch marked coins, and these were the special features of the Mahajanpadas. Okay, you'll see this punch marked coin is of Gandhara, this is of Vajji, this is of Vatsa, Magadha, then Kasi, then Chedi, then Kosala, and so on and so forth. You have all these coins of these Mahajanpadas, and they were the punch marked. So you have a mark. The mark is punched, so that is why it is called a punch marked coin. Iron weapons and military technology, we have already seen the strategic advantages. The combination of agricultural wealth and iron weapon allowed state to expand their territories. We have already seen all these points. Okay, so this again I'll say the use of iron was most important thing that happened. Emergence of Jainism and Buddhism alongside the rise of Mahajanapadas. Now this is very important, and after this Mahajanapadas we are going to start with the Jainism and Buddhism, and then we'll be seeing the Magadha. The 6th century BC, that's a before Common Era, saw the rise of 16 large territorial states called the Mahajanapadas, driven by agricultural expansion, urbanization and the use of iron tools. But this era is also known as the second urbanization. But if it is written as second urbanization here, what was the first urbanization? Either you tell me what was the first urbanization in the comments, or you ask me what was the first urbanization in the comment, and I will surely reply you there. Fostered new social and economic classes, especially merchants and artisans, who often felt marginalized by the prevailing Vedic order. And just to give you a quick hint for this first urbanization, we have already done this chapter. Social and religious climate, what will happen? The later Vedic period was marked by rigid caste hierarchies and dominance of Brahmins, with complex rituals and sacrifices will be there. So first you will have the Brahmins and the Kshatriyas at the top, and Brahmins especially will try to show that they are at very high level. Okay, that's the first thing. Then you will have the complex rituals and sacrifices that will be done, and that will be very costly for common people. Common people will not be able to afford them. Okay, and thirdly there will be sacrifices of cattle. That is something the merchant class will not like it. Okay, now all this, because of all this, there will be growing dissatisfaction among the Kshatriyas, that is the warrior class, and among the Vaishyas, that is the merchant class, who resented Brahminical supremacy, and social restrictions create fertile ground for new religious ideas. Okay, so that is why you will have these merchant classes will support the new religion that will come in the form of Jainism and Buddhism, and both these religion that the Mahavira and the Buddha were Kshatriyas from Republican Mahajanapadas, and because they are coming from Republican Mahajanapadas, this will reflect the region's openness to new ideas and non-monarchical governance. That is very important. We'll see these religions will emphasize on ethical living, it will emphasize on non-violence, personal spiritual effort over rituals, and used local languages like Prakrit and Pali and not Sanskrit to reach wider audiences. Okay, because Sanskrit was somewhere the other, the priest or the Brahmins were having a sort of a capture over there. Bimbisara seeking enlightenment from Buddha. This is something important in Magadha's history, we will be seeing it. So economic and political factors, the rise of agriculture and trade led to the economic prosperity, especially for the Vaishyas, who supported Jainism and Buddhism as their faith offered greater social mobility and recognition. Urban centers in Mahajanapadas became hubs for new philosophical debates and religious movement, with rulers and merchants often patronizing Jain and Buddhist institutions. So the merchant classes will do what? Merchant classes will start to patronize the Buddhist and the Jain monarchies. Okay, so that we have seen, guys, and with that we have come to the end of the 16 Mahajanapadas. Only one question today which was asked in the UPSC Prelims 2021, in which one of the following regions was Dhyana Katka, which flourished as a prominent Buddhist center under the Mahasanghikas located. So all this, if you see Gandhara, Kalinga, Andhra, Magadha. So you have seen right now this Magadha, Gandhara, you have seen. What is the right answer here? The right answer here is Andhra. So Andhra is the right answer here. Dhyana Katka, that's in Amravati, was a major Buddhist center in present day Andhra Pradesh, flourishing under the Mahasanghikas. Okay, guys. So with that we have come to the end. But before we go, a quick info again for you guys. If you really want to shorten your journey from an aspirant to an administrative officer, this is the opportunity for you. Go for one-on-one live mentorship with Deepika ma'am, having 20 plus years of experience, and yes, she can really help you with all those questions which might take you months, sometimes even years to get answers to. Okay, so we'll meet again if you subscribe. So please subscribe and take care, guys. Bye.